Tonight in Fox 17 News investigates a mid-state foster family that kept more than 50 children over the course of a decade is calling out the Tennessee Department of Children's Services. They say DCS closed their foster home after they complained about a lack of services made available for a sick toddler. Tonight, the couple shares their story exclusively with our Dennis Ferrier.
For years now, we've been bringing you stories that question DCS decisions, but this is a new twist. This is a longtime foster parent accusing DCS of negligence.
Jesica Lana's home is never this quiet. It's almost like something's wrong. Something is wrong. Bernie and Jesica Lana have spent the past 10 years taking in very sick, compromised, drug-dependent, abused, or neglected children. You name it. This is a foster home that is a sanctuary for hurting children.
I want to understand why you do this.
Because when I grew up, it was hard, you know, and I was a juvie kid, and when I got my life together, I said, you know, I wanna help kids like me. Christian and Shanila, and this is Jasmine.
So she started with teenage girls, but discovered her heart was even bigger. She moved on to babies with serious medical needs. It's how she ended up with Cameron, a desperate call from DCS.
We have this little baby boy that nobody wants. We cannot find care for him. We cannot find anybody that wants to take him. He's medically fragile. He's going to have round-the-clock care. You know, we need to find somebody that will bond with him.
And so Jesica started going to the hospital to read to Cameron, hold him, and eventually bring him home. As expected, little Cameron had lots of problems. As a DCS described drug-dependent preemie born at 2.5 pounds, Lana said he had serious breathing problems and could not even be left alone to sleep.
I think it was like 3 hours on, 3 hours off every night for 13 or 14 months.
Lana said DCS promised them special financial supplements to provide in-home nursing and care, but they never came through with any of those promises. The DCS did not even supply special baby formula, and so the Lanas suffered.
I was forced to close my business for 6 weeks. Yes, I begged for assistance.
The Lanas were in the process of opening a restaurant to go along with their successful food truck.
They drained me. I lost about $25,000 and just off the food truck.
And the new restaurant failed.
We went from $50,000 a month to like $8, because if I can't be there, it's not going to run properly. But my focus was more so on Cameron and his well-being than it was on my restaurant. So I would choose him every time.
Meanwhile, Jesica took this difficult video of Cameron struggling to breathe on the floor. The Lana say DCS said it was behavioral, not medical. And so it all ended up in court, where a judge removed Cameron from the home and DCS stripped the Lanas of their status as a DCS foster family.
This is not about the children, this is about the dollar sign. And it's not just DCS. It's DCS, it's the guardian ad litems, it is the judges. They're all together. It's the good old boy system. I mean, it's alive and well with the department.
We want DCS's side of the story, but by law they can't comment on these cases, so we never get the whole picture. But here's what we want to ask. So you trust this family for 10 years with up to 50 kids, and all of a sudden they're no good? Or did you make them promises that you didn't keep? They spoke up, and that's why we're here today.
Critics say it's because this agency's primary function has become taking children and fighting with people. Former family law attorney Connie Reguli.
And so with Department of Children's Services, you have the name services, children's services, in the name of the organization, but it's not a service organization at all. It is a quasi-law enforcement prosecutorial agency, and all the funding goes to removing children.
And that's supported in their own budget documents. Just 7% of the DCS budget goes to providing preservation and rehabilitation services for parents and families. 7%. I'm Dennis Ferrier, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.